Everybody. In our last tutorial, we talked about how to get presentations from our library into our playlist. We also talked about importing new presentations and creating presentations from scratch if we need to. So now we have our playlist for Sunday all built out and in the correct order. Now we're going to work on getting all of the content into those playlists. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to get rid of our old stuff. Keep things tidy, that way we don't have too much going on. Also, ProPresenter doesn't really like having a bajillion videos stored in it. So the leaner we can keep this, the happier the program is and the happier we are. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to delete the old stuff from last week. We still need this countdown, we still need these two graphics, and we still need all of these names here. But these three videos down on the bottom are going to go away. So we're just going to click, drag, select them all, right click, and we're going to hit delete. And you'll get two options here. It explains pretty well. Delete cues removes them from ProPresenter, and if you hit move to trash, it deletes it from the playlist and also takes the file off of the hard drive. I usually just do delete cues, and then I worry about getting things off the hard drive other ways. This is the way I do it because then if I accidentally need something later on and didn't think about it, it's still there for me. So delete cues, you'll see those go away. Now we're going to go get what we need for this week, and you're going to find all of the videos that you'll need in a given week in the Google Drive folder called Media of the Week. You can track through onto the All Campus folder, and it will usually be right there. Our video team populates this and takes care of it for us. Oh, looks like I've got a countdown for this week too. I'm going to get started downloading that. Yeah, that means I can get rid of this countdown. Delete. That was that finishing downloading. Cool. That was confusing. All right, so we're going to delete cues, so now we don't have to worry about that. So now the next thing we need to do is we need to make sure that those files are in the place that we want them to, because the way ProPresenter works is it doesn't actually store things in itself. It just remembers where files are, so that when I click on this video, it doesn't have this video. It just knows where it needs to go to find it. So it's really important that before we do anything, we put stuff in the right place. That way, because if we move something later, ProPresenter loses track of where it is and it won't play it for you. So we're going to move things first. So I have these three videos here: survey countdown, in-person announcements, and mind game. These are the three things from Media of the Week this week, and I am going to move them to the Sunday AM Media folder. This is on the desktop. It's also in Documents. We are in the series called The Mind Game, and there is 523. Wow, those folders are really out of order. Clean up by name. Much better. 523. Same thing. Clean up by name. So we have some charts that we're using in the sermon. We have our file for our message lower thirds, and we have our three videos. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those three videos. Now that they're in the right spot, we're going to drag them into ProPresenter. Just the three videos. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to drag them down over here. And so now you'll see they've popped up in ProPresenter. So now we need to get them from this video bin into the actual slides themselves. So the first thing is the countdown. So we're going to take our Mind Game countdown and we're going to drag and drop it onto the top. And you'll notice the date down here is now updated with the correct date. That means we have got the right video file. And if I click it, it plays very loudly. Open the Gates is a song. We don't have to worry about that. Our next piece of media is video announcements here. You'll notice because I deleted that file, this is what happens. ProPresenter doesn't know where this file is anymore. It knows it's supposed to do something with 509.21 in-person announcements, but it doesn't know where to find it because we moved that file. So now I'm going to take this week's announcements. I'm going to drop them in on top. You'll see the date and name changes, and we are good to go there. Same deal. We click.
Thanks again for joining us today.
And we have a very loud video. Last piece is our survey countdown. We're going to take our survey countdown, drag it into the appropriate spot, and we are going to be good to go there. Now, one thing that is worth checking whenever you drag a video in, this should do it by default, but there are two settings you need to double check on. So any video you drag in, you'll want to check these usually. So if you right click on a video, go over to Inspector, and you're going to go to Properties here. You'll notice this playback behavior here. You'll want this to be set to stop. What that means is when I get to the end of the video, what do I want to happen? I could set it to loop and it would start over again. I could set it to loop a certain number of times. I could set it to loop for a certain duration of times, but we want this video to stop because we only want to see that countdown once. Then we also have this end behavior. When we get to the end of the video, what happens? We can hold on the last frame. We can go black. We can clear. Fade to clear is almost always what we want because we want to get that video cleared out. That way, if there's any graphics underneath it or any camera shots underneath it, that we can see those. So fade to clear. So 9 times out of 10, stop and fade to clear. The one example of this is if you're working with motion backgrounds for songs, you're going to want those to loop because you want those to go continuously underneath the song and not just play once and stop. But we're going to check that stop and fade to clear. These should be good to go on video announcements because this is the default setting. And we'll check the countdown to inspector, properties, stop and fade to clear. Sweet. So that is how you get videos into ProPresenter and then into slides. And the same thing is true, for example, this walk-in slide right here. We just drag the slide in, same process, drop it on top. So if you're changing up graphics or anything like that, that is how you make things happen. Again, gonna pause here, keep the video size down, and we'll jump into another one before too long.